Doing good?
Yes, sir.
Got some little fancy hot sauce I'm about to use in my breakfast.
Let's go.
Fancy hot sauce. I'm having I think it's called a frittata.
I
Some
like that.
avocado. This little fancy sauce here. Chase, what'd you think about the golf?
Oh, I think Scheffler's dominant.
Dude, he is freaking a king, isn't he?
Another level.
Somebody was telling me the other day that his percentages the past like 70 tournaments is better than Tigers or whatever it is.
It's absolutely insane.
It is. Well, I'm glad you're here, sir. Let me get everybody logged in. We're rocking and rolling. So what's our topic we said today?
Unreasonable hospitality.
Unreasonable hospitality. I love that one. I love
Yeah.
that one. Look at Tara with the fancy little ear muff things on. Look at that. Air Max Pro Max. She's the queen here. David's got his hair slicked back in his office. He's not in the car.
I just forgot to charge my AirPods.
It's okay. You look solid. I like it.
Excellent.
Those bags look dope too that we're designing. These look good.
Yeah, thanks for that. They're half the price of.
Yeah, they're super crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
Absolutely.
have yours?
No, I'll show
So
you. I'll send you a
they're
picture.
are they like awesome?
Yeah, I'll send you a picture here. I'll do a FaceTime with
Cool.
you or something.
Cool, thanks.
All righty. We're gonna get everybody logged in here. So guys, today, first of all, happy Thursday. Today's Thursday, I'm assuming. I think today's Thursday. Um, and we're getting towards the end of July. Back to school season kicking off for everybody. I've been on the road here for about 2 weeks. Was in Arizona and then Colorado, then Arizona, then Corpus Christi, then Houston, back to Vegas right now until I'm back to Tennessee in a week. Um, Guys, when I'm visiting your schools, one thing is just consistent that I see is just, leadership is a skill set that is massively needed. We all need to step our game up on leadership, and our ability to be in a hurry to serve people. And I really feel like if you lead with the heart of, servitude, of like be in a hurry to serve people, care, does not mean be soft, does not mean be a pushover. You can still be hard. You can still be the people that we need to be. But 100%, we've got to make sure that we're in a hurry to serve and continue to work on our leadership. Because everywhere I go, every business I walk into, the difference is the ability for the reason why some people are winning is they're great at serving and they're in a hurry to help, and they're being led by amazing people. When speaking of which, I was in Houston. Dre and Sarah and I went to lunch, and I walked in to buy a pair of shoes, and there's nobody in the whole store. Okay, nobody in the whole store. So I have to go to the back and say, "Hey, I want this shoe in 11 and a half." So she scans the thing. Oh, we don't have it. Hands it back to me. Done. Didn't try to sell me a different model. Didn't say, hey, let me look online. Just let me walk out the door. So then I walk into a store called Nordstrom. If you guys ever been to a Nordstrom, and this guy's coming down the escalator. Me and Dre, he's coming down the escalator, and the guy, I just say, hey man, where's men's sportswear, whatever like that. He's like, points over here. So he gets off of the escalator, comes and follows us. I'm like, hey, I'm getting a coffee. He starts small talking. He says, I'll wait for you. He says, I'll wait for you. I go get an espresso, come back into the store. He's standing in the same spot. I was like, come on, boss. And so I started small talking. He's been on the job for 1 month. He has a stutter. He's from Ethiopia. Moved here when he was 9 or 10 years old. He was 23 years old. After talking to this man, by the way, he took martial arts as a kid in Ethiopia. Okay. After talking to him, guess what? I ended up spending $1,000 on my lunch break buying some stuff I don't need because how he treated me. Service to senior to selling. Somebody could have got my money at the shoe department. They didn't give a shit about me. They didn't care about me. They didn't want my money. They got so much money, or actually, they're just not being led, and they forgot that their job is to serve someone. Okay, service to senior to selling always. And this 23-year-old first month on his job. And then, by the way, this guy pulls up his social media. We start talking. He's in school for marketing. He has 1 million people on his last viral video, whatever like that. Okay, so he's figuring that game out. And the cool thing about Nordstrom or stores like that, when you have a connection with somebody who sells there, that works there, you can fly anywhere. I could be at a hotel in any other city. I can hit that guy up and they can get something shipped to my hotel if I need it. What you pay for is how people treat you in service. People pay for two things in life: accountability and status.
Hmm.
And everything in life is like holding you to who you want to be, which is why we got Chase on the call. We all need to be better people. We're striving for that. We want to be greater leaders. And plus, he's just a good looking dude too, so it's not going to hurt to hear from him. And then accountability, and then status, right? And status is, can you get in the right rooms? Can you get around the right people? Can you continue to move the message forward? And Chase, before I let you take over, 2 weeks ago, I went to Andy Elliott's church, and it's an amazing church. It's called Impact. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
He's the pastor for the basketball team as well too in Arizona.
Awesome.
Well, he had surgery, so there was a guest pastor that day who was freaking amazing, who happens to just moved his family of four to Las Vegas in the neighborhood right next to mine to do a plant here. And so it was luck, draw, whatever you want to call it, or God at work that happened to be in the right building, the right time to meet him. And so we've been messaging each other back and forth, but I'm gonna help him get the church started here in Vegas now.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Heck
That
yeah.
being said, Chase, you're the man. Take it away, sir.
Well, I appreciate it. Am I echoing for anybody else? I'm good.
You're great. You're great. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I hear a little bit of echo, but so first off, I want to say thank you. Man, I'm deeply grateful for each of you, and whether you're an instructor, if you're just an owner, whatever it is, I'm thankful to be with you. I enjoy this time, and I really hope that our time, man, you're empowered by it, and you're better for it. And so I want to challenge us today, and I just really want to call us higher. Okay, I want to challenge you from being a good school to an unforgettable one. Okay, not just through curriculum or techniques or branding, but through how you treat people. And so we're going to talk about today unreasonable hospitality. And I don't know if you guys have ever read this book right here, but it is an unbelievable read. And I promise you, it will change your organization. This is not the Bible, but there's a lot of biblical principles in this book. So, Unreasonable Hospitality by Will here, and I can send this out. We can send it out to you. But again, all this kind of births not just from this book. It was an incredible read, but whenever I was younger, my grandfather was a pastor of the church that we attended growing up when I was small. And one of the things that, as I look back, I kind of remember us looking, uh, we just kind of looked at people funny when they would walk in the doors, like for the first time, because it was a church of 150. It was a smaller church. There wasn't a lot of traffic or new guests. Like I grew up like a podunk town. It was country. Piney Flats is what it was called. And either you move away and you never come back, or you move back because you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't choose to live there, and or you stay forever. Like my parents, they're all in. They're never leaving. It's one of those things. But we just didn't really do a great job at welcoming guests, like making them feel valued, seen, all those things. And then I went to a church out in Arizona, actually, specifically, and it was a church of 28,000 people. We had 8 locations. And one of the things, I was a pastor there, and one of the things that we really did well was making people feel like they belonged. And so, there was some unreasonable hospitality, and hospitality was a value at that church and many other churches that I have been a part of. And I actually just led about 100 winning team members. We call our volunteers winning team members through this very talk. And so I'm excited to lead you guys through it as well. I'm going to start off with a story from the book. And so there's a restaurant in New York City called 11 Madison Park. Okay. And maybe you've ate there, maybe you haven't, but at one time it was named the best restaurant in the entire world. And so a little bit of backstory though, before it was named the best restaurant in the entire world, they 11, Madison Park, they got invited to this dinner, top 50, restaurants around the world. And the goal was to not be called the 50th best restaurant in the world, right? So they're at this dinner, they're around these tables, and all of a sudden they start to, announce the names and all that stuff. And lo and behold, they were named the 50th best restaurant in the world. And that's an incredible achievement, but that's not what he wanted when he was in the room. And so it set him on this journey to become number one, right? And so that happened. And one of the reasons why it happens is because of this. So one night, a guest, they were just finishing up their trip in New York, and they kind of were talking to the waiter or waitress back and forth, and they made an offhand comment that they were disappointed that they hadn't tried a New York hot dog while in town. Has anybody ever had a New York street hot dog? Like, it's just part of the experience, right? They were not, think about this. They were in the number one restaurant in the world, and what was on their mind was a hot dog off the street in New York City. Okay. So, you know what the restaurant did? They didn't say, sorry, that's not on the menu. They didn't laugh it off. That wasn't like, the gourmet dish that you could order off off their list. But it actually, what happened is that they sent someone out into the street. They bought a hot dog from the vendor, brought it back, plated it beautifully, and served it mid-meal. That Talk about a gourmet dish right there. Come on. A freaking dog off the street, right? But that became the highlight of their trip. So, I mean, you talk about they probably told so many people that story. And that story right there really wraps up what we call unreasonable hospitality. And so I'm not saying that we should start, handing out hot dogs, right? After, people pass their belt test or whatever, unless that's your thing, go for it, right? But here's the takeaway. People may forget what you taught them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And you've heard that before, right? Like it's people don't know how much they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Like same principle there, but people may forget what you taught them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So every student, every parent, every guest who walks into your school, man, if you can just grab on to they are not a transaction. They are not just a body on the mat. Man, they are someone with a story. Maybe they're bringing their kid in because he was bullied, right? Maybe they're signing up because they're trying to rebuild confidence after a divorce or a hard situation in their kid's life, or maybe even themselves. Maybe your school is the only safe place they've walked into all week long, and your culture before, like, you are the culture before you are the curriculum. Okay. Their first impression won't be your discipline or your skills. It'll be your kindness, it'll be your intentionality, and it will be your hospitality. So let's talk about what is unreasonable hospitality. So I'm going to kind of define this. Unreasonable hospitality is going above what's expected to show someone their value. Unreasonable hospitality is going above what is expected to show someone their value. So it's not about being extravagant. It's about being exceptional in the small things. And here's what that can look like in your space from a martial arts level. Man, it's the small stuff, right? Greeting a student by name, eye contact, energy, right? You've probably had a long day. Your classes start in the evening, right? Like, bring the energy. It's walking a new family all the way to their spot, not just pointing. It's making space for that nervous kid to ease the nerves without shame or pressure. It's having clean gear ready, right, for students who forget theirs. Writing a quick text or a card to a parent after, their child earns a new belt. Something to go above and beyond, right, what's expected to show value. Maybe it's offering a bottle of water or a word of encouragement to a single mom who's always running late. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the small things. So those moments may seem small, but man, they're unforgettable. They don't just build good impressions, right? They build trust, they build loyalty, and they build referrals, which in turn, what happens is it builds your business. So I'll never forget, like we were at a conference and this lady, um, she had a venti, whatever the drink was, probably at least $13. And so as soon as she walked through the doors, she kind of tripped up and she spilled it all over the lobby. And one of the things that one of our winning team members did was they helped her clean it up, and they asked her like, "Hey, what were you drinking?" And so one of the things that we were able to do is like midway through the conference, we sent somebody to Starbucks, got that exact drink, and then said, "Hey, whoever the lady was," like we got her name and we said the lady, and then she came and got it from the stage. And it radically changed like the whole environment. And so it's the little things. But there's a lot of things that get in the way for us to really lean into unreasonable hospitality. Like the kind of the kind of this hospitality is not always easy. It takes effort, it takes intention, and it really takes an intentional mindset shift. So, here's some common blockers, right? And how we overcome them. We've all said it, we've all been there. You might be there right now, but the first one is I'm too busy, right? I'm just too busy. I got a lot going on. I'm either understaffed or whatever it may be. I don't have enough people. But the truth is, busyness is the enemy of intentionality. So here's the solution. We got to build margin into if you have class transitions, those sorts of things, man, maybe you start 5 minutes earlier, pause, look around, be available. Like maybe you give something to someone else where you can actually like greet and say hello to parents and do all the things. And again, I'm speaking, I don't own a martial arts space, but I did grow up in one. So I understand some of the chaos that happens in between and all the things. And so I'm too busy. How do you create margin to be able to see people intentionally? That's the goal. Another thing that gets in the way is that's not my job, right? That's not my job. And it may not be your job, right? But that's something that we never really say. So the truth is hospitality is everyone's job. Everyone's job. I think it was John F. Kennedy. He was touring NASA, and he stopped a janitor. Basically, it was a janitor at the time. He didn't really. He was like, "Hey, what's your job here?" And he's like, "My job is to get a man on the moon." That that's different, right? And he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that a man gets on the moon. If that's mopping the floors, he's all in, you know? But there's a mindset shift. So it's my job to it's do this. It's our job to do this. So, you know, maybe for you, that's not my job. You have to reframe the vision of your culture. Hey, this is our job. This is what we do. This is who we are. And ultimately, one of the things that I say, for some of you who don't know, I lead a church, a location of like 3,500 people right now. And one of the things that I say, we have over 1,000 winning team members. And so that's quite a few people who serve and give their time up. But one of the things that I tell them always is, hey, be whatever you want to see. Be whatever you want to see. That's something that we say all the time. And that calls me up and it calls me out to make sure that I'm being the example for people. And there was the other day, it wasn't my job. It's not my job. It's not my job title. It's a whatever. But there was a little girl that came over and I was headed to, lead a next steps class that had 64 people in it. And this little girl and a single dad came over and said, "Hey, could you help us get these Funyuns out of the snack machine?" They were stuck because they didn't fall out. And I'm like, this is the last thing that I want to do right now because I'm like headed to something else or whatever. But I remembered those words, and I would, I shook that snack machine until literally my hand started bleeding. And we got the Funyuns though, right? Because guess what? That's my job, is to see people be intentional and to make them feel valued. So another thing is this: what gets in the way is I don't know what to do. Maybe you've heard that from people that you lead or whatever. But the truth is that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. And so ask questions, smile, notice, go first, be that example as well. And then the last one is this: another thing that gets in the way is people don't notice. Maybe you're leading somebody who feels this, like they don't feel noticed, they don't feel seen. Um, the truth is this: that they may not notice what you do, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And so our goal is not to be like, when we serve people, when you serve people that walk into your class, it's never, hopefully it's not to be seen, right? But it's to serve. We serve because it builds something that lasts longer than just what we're going to teach. So as we continue to build this culture of unreasonable hospitality, there's some things that I just want to encourage you, and maybe you can encourage your teams with. This isn't a tactic either. It's culture. And so culture is caught more than taught, right? You've heard that before. Starts with you and it spreads from you. And so one of the things that I would encourage you to do is, first and foremost, every single class, arrive full. Okay? That's number one. You got to arrive full. You can't roll into your school into that evening, into what you're doing, empty. You got to take care of your body. You got to take care of your mind. You got to take care of your spirit. That's what we talk about. That's what you're a part of with these calls, right? So the best hospitality flows from overflow. It starts to come back to what I talked about for the very first time. It's like, hey, you gotta lead in the secret place. The private moments will overflow to the public at some point. And so arrive full. The second one is this: see the one. If you want to build a culture of unreasonable hospitality, see the one. That restaurant saw that specific couple who was in there. They probably had hundreds of other people in that restaurant, but they saw the one. You're going to have hundreds of other people in your classes. How do you see one person? Like, one of the things that I ask myself every single weekend, and it is an absolute, it's like New York City here at our church. Like, people are going everywhere. There's 4 or 5 entrances you can come in, etc. It's just like, I always pray this prayer. It's very simple. Lord, who do I need to see today? Who do I need to see today? And it really grounds me to be present in every conversation that I'm in. Because I don't know about you, like, there's been moments where, like, I'll be talking to somebody, but I'll be looking straight through their face. Like I'm not even in the conversation. And maybe the only thing that they need is just to be seen. And they want me to see them, right? So one of the things that Jesus always saw is the one. And maybe you're a person of faith, maybe you're not, but like, the Bible is super important to me, and faith is super important to me, obviously. But in Scripture, you see, like, I don't know if you've heard the story of Zacchaeus. He was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. So he climbed up into the sycamore tree, right? And guess who saw him? Jesus saw him. Jesus saw the woman at the well, who nobody else wanted to talk to. She would have to come get water when it was just, nobody was around, right? He saw her. Jesus saw the children in the crowd. Like, he sees the one, and it made such a difference for every single person that he saw. So see the one. Don't just focus on the most advanced students, right? See the one who's fallen behind. See the one who's ready, just about to quit, right? See that one. It'll go a long way. The third is this: be the culture carrier, right? Thermostat, not the thermometer. We have to set the tone. We got to bring the energy. We smile first. We speak life. We're whatever we want to see. And so, yeah, everything you do speaks. Everything that you do speaks. And ultimately, too, is that God sees it all. And so if you're a Christ follower and a believer in Jesus, it's like, man, we want to glorify God in everything that we do. And so your students feel it, they see it, and your culture becomes a part of your legacy. And so here's the clear win. Okay. The win is when every student and every parent experiences care and value before they ever pay a dime or earn a stripe. The win is that every student and parent experiences care and value before they ever pay a dime or earn a stripe or get another belt or whatever. I believe this is probably true for you. You want people to say, man, I felt like I mattered the moment that I walked in. They remembered my name. Man, my kid was so nervous, but they were so gentle and welcoming. That's not just customer service. That's transformation. And ultimately, from a faith level, that's discipleship through discipline. So, because when people feel like they belong, they stick around. And when they stick around, they grow, right? And that's transformation. And so, culture starts with you. Culture starts with you. So one of the things that just maybe a quick guide, some like very pointed things that you could do is this, and I'll kind of end with this: some cultural habits. Okay, if you're a person of faith, again, like pray first, right? If you're faith based, ask God to use you for divine moments and connections. Make this more about just doing the thing, right? You were created for a purpose. And your purpose it goes beyond building a massive martial arts school. Your purpose, if you're a Christ follower, is to help bring heaven to earth and to lead people to Jesus. And so, man, God can use you and he can grow your business. He can do all the things. But man, make sure that you keep your eyes on what really matters. The second one is this: see the one. We talked about that. Focus on individuals, not just the group. The third thing is go with, right? Walk with people to what they need. Don't just point. The fourth thing is be over the top friendly. Man, I don't know about you, but a smile is hard to come by sometimes, right? It's crazy. People are coming in stressed to the max, and you just smile. Man, remember some names, make people feel important. And you know what else is missing in today's world? Follow up. Dude, people don't follow up at all. If people would just follow up, my goodness, it they'll move forward as faster than they can even blink. The fifth thing is this: be willing to be inconvenienced. Be willing to be inconvenienced. This is a big one, right? Hospitality comes with a cost, but the return is invaluable. Be willing to be inconvenienced. And you know what happens? You know how you do this? You don't make it about you. Most people who are in like who it's just a convenience, or it's like, oh, that's really inconvenient for me. They make it about them. When you show up to your school every day, every whatever, it's not about you. It's about the people who walk through that door. So, the last thing is this: know the why. This isn't just about retention, it's about transformation. And so I think when you really fix your eyes on those things, you can really lean in to unreasonable hospitality. It's something that will lead to change. I promise you. If you can get your team on this and really leaning in to this, it's going to give people more than they expect. And when you go above and beyond, um, it'll absolutely change the game. I'm gonna pray for us, and then I'll kick it back to you, Aaron. Father, thank you so much, God, for every person on this call. God, we're grateful for every person that you're bringing through the doors of every martial arts school on here. God, I pray that you would give everyone eyes to see people like you do. God, help them notice where they need to step in and where they can step in to really make a difference in people's lives. I pray that every person would, because of who we are, first and foremost, feel valued, feel seen, and God, feel like they belong somewhere, just far beyond checking a box for a class or anything like that. Lord, I pray they'd be a family. We love you. We praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
I appreciate that, man. Chase, that was awesome stuff. So first of all, I've read that book. And second, I forgot that I read the book until you start talking about the story about what it's about. And what's crazy is 11 Madison is a vegan restaurant.
Wild.
And so what's crazy is to be the number one restaurant in the world for a period of time, and they're still a 3-star Michelin restaurant, to be vegan based, right? But again, a couple of things that came to me, and I want to pull back up real fast. First of all, you ended with the why, and probably right after this call drops, there's going to be a premiere on YouTube of me sitting in my living room telling actually Sarah and Dre, my video guy, why I even teach martial arts. So I would go pop that and listen to it. It's probably 20 minutes long, and listen to it so you get to know me, but also get to understand how you should be messaging to the world who you are and why you do what you do. Everyone should know. If you're teaching and mentoring people, we all are leaders in here. Use technology to put your why out there. It doesn't matter if 4 people here to 50 people here. It doesn't matter. Put it out there for the world to have. All right. Next thing is talking about prayer and praying for people. One of our own, Dan, you see the wife Deb on the calls all the time, but Dan lost his father yesterday. So just, have him in his thoughts and prayers. And if you have his number, reach out to him, hit him up on Facebook. I'm going to jump into this. You said people forget what you taught them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Again, I can't tell you guys enough. We sell everything in life to people with emotion. We close with logic. We get sold with emotion. And emotion isn't just about a transaction. We're in the transformation business, like Chase said. The real truth is this, guys. We really do want to change the world for the better. Okay. I don't want to say just change the world. We want to change the world for the better. We want to impact the people in front of us. And so the only way to do that is we need to be a people of discipline. We need to be hard on our people, but we can do it with kindness and care and see the speed of which we get to people to greet them at the door. In the Southeast, you walk into Moe's, right? Chase, we got them in Knoxville there. And then you walk into Moe's. What do they do?
Welcome to Moe's.
They yell at you. Welcome to Moe's, right? They see you. And you made this comment about on my other page here. You said, be the one. Let me see how I actually wrote it. Because I'm a person that has to write things down. It says, be who you want to see. And you martial arts teachers, guys, you don't teach in a gi, but you want your students to wear a gi, or you're wearing a hat and t-shirt teaching class. Like physically, what about your body, your mind, your spirit? Are you who you would want your students to become? And I've not always been that. I'll be honest. Like I've sometimes have slipped. And then we've got to not only be the example and set the example as the leader, we got to role play the example with our people. You got to practice. I talked about when I was in Houston, a new staff member's there. He didn't really know how to handle somebody walking in. You got to role play this stuff. And you practice not till you get it right. You practice so you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm going to challenge everybody here. And Chase, I want you to do this with us. I'm a person that calls out people a lot because I do it out of love and I want everyone better. I know it's just a thing about words here, but I want us all calling each other up. We're leaders here. So instead of calling us out to because we're not trying to put shame on people, I want to call you guys up. I want to challenge you guys to step up into your leadership roles. And so I want us to because call out seems to have a negative connotation to it. And the reality is we all want to be called out more often. If the teacher doesn't call your name, they don't see you. Right. And I want to be picked on all day long because that's what's going to make me better. So when you have a chance to sit in front of someone to learn, get in the front row. Stop sitting in the back. In Houston, guys, the whole front row was empty. Get closer, right? Proximity. So let's call each other up more often. And let's set the tone of how we want, right, the mission to be done inside our schools too. All right. I appreciate your time, man. That was awesome. I'll say this too. Um, unreasonable hospitality or unforgettable hospitality, or however you want to say it, it's just the key is be exceptional. I'll finish with a story here from another book. If you haven't read it, it's a good one for you, Chase. The book is called what's the actual title of the book? I've got it here. It's called Shut Up and Listen. Okay. It's not written by your wife, I promise. Okay. But it's written by a guy named Tillman Fertitta. And somebody I've met before, and I think I resonate with how he's hard, but he's passionate. But he talks about there's no spare customers, guys. And the short version of the story from the book is this: a hotel guest asks for a croissant, but is outside of the pastry hours that the hotel was serving. So the staff member says, "Hey, we don't have any right now." So he's the owner of a company. His net worth is about $20 billion. He finds out, he gets pissed off. Like any leader should get pissed off because it's your fault as a leader. He says, if the guest wants a croissant, go get the croissant. Buy it from another hotel if you have to, a grocery store, wherever. The tiny no costs you the relationship. The extra mile builds a lifetime customer. And his mantra is there are no spare customers. So I'm not saying change your standards. I'm not saying change your rules. I'm not saying bend over backwards to appease. Hold your standard, but care. Okay. And owners, you have to empower your people to do this too. You have to give them the ability to treat people with this, how you want to be treated. Isn't that the golden rule, Chase?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, I
Absolutely.
appreciate your time today. I'll finish with this tomorrow at 3:00 Pacific, 6:00 Eastern. I'm hosting a webinar. I'm saying it's 60 minutes. It's probably going to be 2 hours. It might be 3 hours. I have a whiteboard. I'm going to have some markers, and listen, this is a sales call for non-Rise clients. You guys are all clients, but come on there and learn one little tip, learn something. So if you don't have that link, hit me up with that. And anything I can do or my team can do to help you guys be more successful. I've got Big John sitting next to me. He flew in from outside of Boston. He's here for his 2-day crash course. We got the whiteboard out. We've been going at it all day yesterday. Going to do it again today. He put the whiteboard together for me. That's right. Okay. But guys, listen, tomorrow, be on the call if you want to. Okay. And then do more stuff with us. Come hang with me here in Vegas. Chase, come out here and hang out with me too.
I'd love to.
Let's play
That'd
some
be
golf.
fun. Let's do it.
It's only 117 degrees, so no big deal. But
That's fine with me.
I'm in a sweatshirt because I got to block the sun from my white skin. So, and I'll come to church when I see you here. Are you going to the Bristol baseball game?
I don't know. Maybe.
August
We'll see.
2nd, world's largest baseball game of all time.
That'd be epic.
Bristol, Tennessee, the first baseball game ever in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's wild. No professional baseball ever in the state of Tennessee until next week.
That's crazy.
All right, guys. Thanks, Chase. You guys have a blessed day. See you guys soon. Peace.